Shabbat Shalom on this Parshat Ha'azinu. In this Parsha, we read a shir, a poem, a song really, that Moshe presents to us as we are about to enter the land of promise. Ha'azinu, lend me your ears, Moshe says. And what happens is Moshe passes on to us what we're going to need to know when he is no longer with us. In the end of last week's Parsha, we chanted the following, the very last pasuk, the very last verse. Vayedaber Moshe beoznei kol kahal Yisrael et divrei hashira hazod ad tumam. Then Moshe recited the words of this poem. As I said before, a shir can be understood as a poem or a song. To the very end of his life, in the hearing of the whole congregation of Israel. And then this week's Parsha begins with the following. Azinu Shemayim ha'adabra, that's easy for me to say, v'tishma ha'aretz imrei fi. Give ear, O heavens, let me speak, let the earth hear the words that I utter. At the end of this long poem in which Yud-Heh-Vav-Heh, through Moshe, gives us what we're going to need to know, Yud-Heh-Vav-Heh instructs Moshe to ascend Mount Nebo. Moshe will look down at the land of Israel, which he will not enter, and then die. And no one knows where he is buried. So I was thinking about the Parsha this week. What came to me the most was how we pay forward what we have learned in the way that Moshe is doing this week as well. Which reminded me of a story, of course, because everything has to be a story with me. A story that you probably are familiar with. It's a story of Honi the Circle Drawer, who was walking along the road when he saw a woman planting a carob tree. And Honi said to her, "This tree that you're planting, after how many years will it bear fruit?" We're about to see. This is all about Ledor Vador, passing it on from one generation to the next. Because what does she say? She says to him, "It will not produce fruit until 70 years have passed." And Honi said to her, "Wow, and you will live 70 years? You'll wait that long to eat from this tree?" And you can guess what the woman said. She said to him, "I found a world filled with carob trees. Just as my ancestors planted for me, I too am planted trees for my descendants." I spend a lot of my time listening to words of wisdom from my colleagues. A number of years ago, Renee and I had the honor and opportunity to work with Rabbi Rachel Ain. Rabbi Rachel is at Sutton Place Synagogue in Manhattan. She was wise then, and she is wise now too. In a few moments, I'm going to share with you some words from her. But before that, a word about the person that she is going to be telling a story about. This is Isaac Yitzchak Herzog, the 11th president of Israel. The legend is told that Tanakh, the Bible, on which Yitzchak Herzog laid his hand on during the swearing-in ceremony, where he officially became the 11th president of Israel in 2021, once belonged to his grandfather, Yitzchak Halevi Herzog. Rabbi Yitzchak Halevi Herzog, blessed memory. And so now you know who Rabbi Rachel Ain is going to be talking about as I share her with you this morning.
The legend is told that the Tanakh, the Bible on which Yitzhak Herzog laid his hand during the swearing-in ceremony when he officially became the 11th president of Israel in 2021, once belonged to his grandfather, Rabbi Herzog, and it was that Rabbi Herzog who carried it with him throughout the post-war years during a daring spiritual mission that he took throughout the orphanages of Europe searching for Jewish children. One day in 1946, Rabbi Herzog arrived with his Tanakh at a large monastery that was known to have taken in Jewish children sent away by their parents to protect them from the Nazi terror which had ravaged Europe. Now the time had come for the children to return home. The rabbi returned to the Reverend Mother, thanking her for saving the lives of the children and requesting to receive the Jewish people back now that the war was over. The nun was happy to agree, but asked the rabbi, "How are you going to know which of the hundreds of children here at the monastery are Jewish? After all, it had been a long time since their parents had sent them there, and they had been mere infants or toddlers at the time." Rabbi Herzog assured the mother that he would know. He asked them to gather all the children in a large hall. He ascended the stage and cried out in a loud voice, "Shema Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Echad." And at that moment, dozens of children rushed to the stage, shouting, "Mama, Papa," and tears filled their eyes, sobbing uncontrollably.
Wow. We know because it's been paid forward to us. L'dor vador, from generation to generation. It's in our DNA. So who passed it on to me? My parents. And what did they pass on? My father's love of liturgical music, his work ethic, and, of course, his love of baseball, passed on to me. That's some head of hair, huh? My mother's loving support of everything I did, she passed on to me. Elsie and Adolf Novak, born Lena and Abraham Novak, they passed on to me much of what makes me who I am today. And I want to include all of my teachers, some of whom are here in this room, including Shulamit and Reb Elliot Ginsburg, who escorted me through my rabbinical years. And I would not be who I am without you. And so I will not be able to take all of my learning with me. I think it was George Kaufman who wrote the play, You Can't Take It With You. And so we leave it behind. And Moshe, Vayedaber Moshe ba'oznei kol kahal Yisrael et divrei hashira hazot ad tumam. He recited the words of the poem that he had learned, of the life that he had lived, and the wisdom that he had accumulated in the hearing of the whole congregation of Israel. And it's not in the Torah text, but the question I ask is, what did the people respond? Well, it's clear that they responded to Moshe. Does everything have to be a song with you? The answer is, of course, yes. One final word. I didn't want to go there. One final word about the word shir. Again, it can mean a poem or a song, which is my sneaky way of connecting this with the Breakthrough Room prompts, which you will have in a few moments. Well, actually in about a half hour. Because it's going to be all about the music that has been passed forward to you, and the music that you will pass on to others. And so, on this Shabbat Ha'azinu, the last parsha of our Torah cycle reading, may we all sing the song that pays forward our wisdom to the next generation. Let's sing our song in the unique way that we can, that pays all of our wisdom forward to the next generation. Shabbat Shalom, everyone.